Hi innovators, it's Dave Casey, founder of the Innovation Leaders Club. In this video, we'll be looking at how long should we track innovation. What is interesting, or what is really sad, I would say, it's innovation is probably one of the worst key performance indicators within the organization. I've worked with about 400 organizations within the last 25 years, and I've witnessed all kinds of measurement in regards to revenue, expenses, margin, also operational or managing all kinds of indicators, even human resources. But when it comes to innovation, we're lacking measurements, and some organizations that are measuring innovation, they're not even sure if they have the right measure. So in this video, we'll be looking at how long should we measure innovation, but let's first look at what is innovation so we have a common understanding. So the definition that is being proposed and accepted by the club members is very simple, effective, and it brings innovation to a scope level which is go beyond product innovation. Let's have a look at it, and I'll come back in a few minutes.
This video from the Innovation Leaders Club will elaborate on how long an innovation should be tracked. The length that an innovation should be tracked is different from industry to industry, and it also depends on the length of the innovation lifecycle. More precisely, the video will cover what the definition of innovation is so that you can identify what needs to be measured, as well as how long an innovation should be considered new to evaluate how long you should measure an innovation depending on your context. Don't forget that, as usual, you can access for free all of the content on this video, including the PowerPoint presentation, as well as the tools, if applicable, by clicking the link in the description below. Also, if you like the video, don't hesitate to drop a like, share it with your employees, your colleagues, and even your superiors, and leave us a comment down below. If you don't want to miss a video, subscribe now and get notifications for real and practical innovation management practices coming directly from club members. The Academy works to freely share meeting content discussed during Innovation Leaders Club gatherings. Through online bundles available for a fee, the Academy ultimately provides real and practical methodologies, visuals, and tools that can be edited or customized for your organization, training videos, and much more based on the Innovation Leaders Club members' shared best practices and the collective proficiency of all the members' knowledge. The preferred option is innovation in the value offering. Many Innovation Leaders Club members use this option because it's a simple and practical way of measuring innovation. There are many types of innovations included in the value offering, but innovation should always be evaluated from an external perspective. Let's clearly define an innovation. Innovation has three components and one specificity. It must: 1. Offer novelty to the value offering, such as a distinctive new look or new features. 2. The novelty must be visible to the customer, which means they must be able to perceive and appreciate the novelty of the innovation. 3. Finally, it must create value for the customer. Here the question is not to know if it brings small, medium, or very high value. It isn't about the level of value as long as it brings value to the customer and that the value is different than the current offering. As the perception of novelty is fleeting, an innovation is only considered new for a specific number of years. This is mainly related to the duration that the innovation will be measured. More information on how long an innovation should be considered new will be covered later in this module. Therefore, an innovation can take several forms: a new line extension, a new product, new platform, new process, an innovation in the customer experience, a business model innovation, and so on.
Now that we have a common understanding what is innovation, let's get to our main topic: how long should I track it for? It's a tricky question. I'll take an example. Let's say if we track it too short, let's say for a masonry product, for instance, and we measure it for 2 years, that might be a really issue because some homeowners might wait to see real building to be built with that new machinery before making a decision. In this case, it's a very long-lasting product and it's a very important decision for homeowner. So if we make it too short, we might not consider the fact that some innovation requires time to be deployed. On the other hand, if we make it too long, what we're doing, we're promoting slow development. So some bad habits will take place and people might react slowly in the first 2 years. Let's say if we track it for, let's say 7 years, for instance. So the key question is, what is the sweet spot for my industry? So let's look at some example.
Never miss a video. Subscribe now and get notifications for real and practical innovation management practices coming directly from club members. Don't forget to click on the link in the description below to access the content discussed in this video. How long should an innovation be considered new? Well, it depends on your industry. Long-lasting innovations such as industrial solutions, building materials, and so on are usually considered new for less than 5 years. Short-lasting innovations such as consumer products, services, and so on are usually considered new for less than 3 years. But for fast-paced industries such as telecom, electronic, medical, and trend-related industries, they use a variable duration. For example, in the video game industry, a new product is only considered new for the first year following its release. A benchmark from the Innovation Leaders Club members in 2009 indicates that only 5% of its members consider innovation new for less than a year, 7% for less than 2 years, 59% for less than 3 years, 5% for less than 4 years, 21% for less than 5 years, and 3% for something else. In this last benchmark, a member moving equipment for the pulp and paper industry considers it an innovation for 7 years. What does it mean to consider an innovation as new for less than 3 years? That the innovation performance will be tracked during an incomplete first year, the full second, and the full third year. Some members say that innovations on average would be measured for only 2.5 years because of the incomplete first year. After that, the performance will be tracked within the regular offerings and excluded from the innovation performance, as it's no longer considered new. The rationale is the same if the duration is less than 5 years, and that the innovation performance will be tracked during an incomplete first year, the full second, the full third, the fourth, and fifth year. When to start tracking? Some organizations don't know how to clearly establish an innovation's launch date. It usually refers to the full launch date, not a market test, neither a regional soft launch. More details about launched practices will be covered in the launch bundle.
Like I mentioned earlier, the number of years which an innovation should be considered new depends on its life cycle. So let's have a look how we can use this cycle to determine the number of years.
Here's a simple visual about the product life cycle. The market test and the regional soft launch should be included in the market preparation phase. The tracking really starts at the market launch, which is considered as the introduction to the market. The innovation performance will therefore be tracked during the introduction phase and as part of the growth phase. If the product life cycle is short, it might also cover a part of the maturity too, but this is never the case for the entire market cycle. The duration during which the innovation is considered has everything to do with the product life cycle. Let's take a typical innovation KPI as an example. Suppose the objective is that 20% of sales shall come from innovations within 5 years or less. It then means that taking 100% of the sales divided by 20% of sales from innovation will require 5 cycles of 5 years to fully replace the current production portfolio. This means that there are 20% of sales from innovation in 2017, 20% in 2020, and so on until 2037 to fully replace the portfolio. Is an innovation really expected to have a life cycle of 25 years? Isn't that too long? Let's say instead that the expected life cycle is 10 years and the new product cycle is still 5 years. By dividing 10 years of the life cycle expectancy by 5 years for the new product cycle, You will need 2 cycles of 5 years to fully replace the current product portfolio, and so the objective should be 50% of sales shall come from new products. Therefore, replacing 50% of the portfolio in 2017 and 50% in 2022 will fully replace your current offerings.
I hope you found this video useful. In conclusion, I want to put emphasis of how important it is to measure innovation. Like I mentioned earlier, it's probably one of the weakest point that we find in many innovation management system. Ultimately, if you want to improve your innovation, you will have to measure it, and you will have to measure it right.
If you haven't done so yet, subscribe to our channel so you don't miss new videos on innovation management practices discussed during the Innovation Leaders Club meetings. You may also want to get a hold of this free content, including the entire PowerPoint presentation with the text associated in the video, and if applicable, the tools presented. Here's the link to get your free package. Finally, don't hesitate to leave us a comment or watch the next video to learn even more about innovation management practices.